You wake up at 6:09 in the morning. You didn't set an alarm. You walk to the kitchen. You make coffee. You sit by the window with your laptop closed for once. Your phone buzzes once. $38 deposited into your account while you were asleep. Not from your job, not from a freelance gig, from owning something. You think about the version of yourself from 6 years ago. The one who hit snooze 3 times, who dreaded Sunday nights, who would have laughed at the idea that a morning like this could exist. You didn't win the lottery. You didn't get rich overnight. You just crossed a number. A specific, calculable number. One that quietly covers your rent, your groceries, your gas, the parts of life you use to fund hour by hour. You start at $10,000. You're 25. 2 years of saving got you here. Skipping the iPhone upgrade. Driving the same Civic. Cooking on Friday nights instead of ordering out. $10,000 just sitting in a checking account, doing absolutely nothing. Most people would put that toward a trip, a watch, a couch upgrade. You open a brokerage app instead. You buy a Dividend ETF, something unglamorous, SCHD, a ticker none of your friends could name if you asked them. At a 3.5% yield, that $10,000 pays you $350 a year. $350 that covers your streaming subscriptions and your phone bill for 12 straight months. It's small. You'll want to laugh at it. You don't. This is the first dollar in your entire life that wasn't traded for time. Every dollar before this came from hours. Hours commuting, hours in meetings that didn't need you in them, hours of your one life handed over for a paycheck. This $350 came from nothing. You slept. It paid you anyway. Your roommate sees the brokerage app open on your laptop. He laughs. $350 a year? That's like one nice dinner. You say nothing. You close the laptop. He spends his bonus that week on a pair of sneakers he'll resell at a loss next year. You do something different. The next month, your dividend lands. You don't move it to checking. You don't spend it. You hit the button that says reinvest. You watch your share count tick up by a small, almost embarrassing amount. You smile at your phone. Nobody sees it. Nobody needs to. You've quietly stopped playing the same game as everyone else. You're 28. 3 years gone. $55,000 sits in that same boring ETF. Most of it from your paycheck. Some of it from dividends you never once touched. It pays you $2,200 a year. $2,200. Your electric bill for the year. Your internet. A long weekend in Austin with money left over. You run the numbers at your kitchen table on a quiet Sunday morning, and you realize something that's going to be true for the next 12 months. Every time you flip a light switch, every time you open the fridge, every time you plug in your phone, someone else is paying for it, not you. Your shares are. You tell exactly no one. That weekend, your brother gets engaged. The whole family ends up at a steakhouse. Your cousin orders a bottle of wine that costs more than your entire dividend payment for the month. He raises his glass and announces he just leased a new Audi. Everyone claps. You order a water. You eat your steak. You smile politely. On the drive home, your girlfriend asks if something's wrong. She says you've been quiet all night. You tell her you're just tired. You don't tell her about the $750 lease payment your cousin just signed up for. You don't tell her your $55,000 is going to quietly drop $2,200 into your lap this year, and next year, and the year after that, without you lifting a finger. You just hold her hand at the red light. And for the first time in your adult life, you feel something most people never get to feel. You feel ahead. You're 31, $100,000, 6 figures. The number your dad used to say changes everything. It doesn't change everything. It pays you $3,800 a year, $3,800, a full year of groceries for one person, 12 months of eggs, bread, coffee, chicken, all paid for by money you didn't lift a finger to earn. You walk through Trader Joe's on a Saturday with that thought sitting in your head. Every item in your cart, somebody else is technically buying it. You laugh quietly in the cereal aisle. The guy next to you is reading a nutrition label. He has no idea. Then it happens. A buddy from college texts you that night. Tyler. He says he found something. A stock yielding 13% paid monthly. Bro, 13% on 100 grand is 13,000 a year. That's triple what you're making. You pull up the chart on your laptop. The yield is real. The chart underneath it is not okay. The stock has dropped 45% in 18 months. The yield only looks enormous because the share price collapsed underneath it. This is a yield trap. Every dividend dollar is being bled out of a dying company. The payout is going to get slashed. The price is going to keep falling. You'll lose far more than you'll ever collect. You close the laptop. You text Tyler back and tell him to be careful. He sends back a laughing emoji and buys $12,000 of it that same night. 5 months later, the dividend gets cut in half. The stock drops another 35%. Tyler stops mentioning it in the group chat. You keep your boring ETF. You keep collecting your $3,800. You keep walking through Trader Joe's on Saturdays. The rule at 6 figures is simple. If a yield looks too good to be true, it is. 13% is an opportunity. It's a warning label. The patient 3.5% will still be standing long after every flashy 13% has imploded. You're 34. $250,000. The number nobody at your office has any idea you have. It pays you $9,500 a year. $9,500. Your car payment, your insurance, your gas for the entire year. Every single mile you drive, covered by money you didn't earn through labor. You realize this on a Wednesday, sitting in traffic on the way to the office. The guy in the lane next to you is yelling into his phone, neck veins visible. His Tesla is brand new. His face is not okay. He doesn't look over. He can't afford that car, and you can see it written across his face. You're driving a 2018 Camry, paid off 2 years ago. The AC still blows cold. The seats are fine. Your car owes you nothing. His car owes him $920 a month for the next 5 years. That night, you check your Dividend account. The number is slightly bigger than last month. It's always slightly bigger than last month. You think about something your grandmother used to say. The wealthiest people I ever met drove the cheapest cars in the parking lot. You didn't understand it at 16. You understand it completely now. At $250,000, the math stops being theoretical. It starts paying for things you can physically touch, things that get you to work, things that get you home. Most people at 34 have a car payment. You have a car that pays you. You sit in your driveway for an extra minute before going inside. You're not in a hurry. You haven't been in a hurry in a long time. You're 37. $500,000. The number that quietly changes how you sleep at night. It pays you $19,000 a year. $19,000. Rent in most American cities, or a paid-off mortgage payment's worth of breathing room. Groceries, gas, electricity, internet, the basic shape of a life. This is the famous 4% rule. The number financial planners have leaned on for 3 decades. The floor. At $500,000 invested, you could walk away from your job tomorrow and not go hungry. You wouldn't be rich. You wouldn't be flying first class. But you wouldn't starve. You realize this on a Thursday at 4:52 in the afternoon. Your manager walks into your office, visibly stressed, asking you to stay late on a project that isn't yours. You used to say yes instantly, automatically. This time you pause for 3 full seconds. You feel something new. You feel optional. You say yes anyway. But the yes is different now. It's a choice, not a reflex. You walk out to your car at 8:45 p.m. The lot is nearly empty. You sit in the driver's seat for a moment before turning the key. You think about the version of you at 25, opening a brokerage app for the first time, getting laughed at by a roommate over $350 a year. That roommate still works the same job. Leased SUV. Second mortgage. A wife who keeps asking where the money actually goes. You drive home. You eat leftovers. You're asleep by 11. You don't check your Dividend account that night. You don't need to. The math is doing exactly what the math does. $500,000 doesn't make you free. But it gives you something most people will never have in their entire lives. It gives you the word no. And no might be the most expensive word in the English language. You're 40. $1 million. You don't feel different. Your apartment looks the same. Your car looks the same. Your face in the mirror looks exactly the same. But the number is real now. It pays you $38,000 a year. $38,000. A full American salary replaced permanently. You sit at your kitchen table on a random Tuesday night and do something you haven't done in 14 years. You open a tax calculator. You type in $38,000. Qualified dividends. Single filer. 2026. You hit enter. The screen shows one number. 0. You look it up to be sure. It's real. Under the qualified dividends threshold, the IRS takes nothing. Your friends with salaries lose nearly a third of their paycheck before it even lands in their account. You keep every single dollar. You sit back in your chair. You don't smile. You don't celebrate. You just sit there. You think about all the years you worked overtime, chasing taxable income, trading hours for dollars. The government skimmed 30% off the top before they ever touched your hands. This $38,000 is different. This one is entirely yours. The next morning at work, your manager talks through Q3 targets. You nod. You take notes. You participate fully. Nobody knows. Nobody at that table knows you could leave on Monday, and nothing in your life would actually change. Nobody knows the woman at the next desk, making the exact same salary as you, is going to retire with $700,000 less than you will. You eat lunch alone on a bench outside, in the sun, with a sandwich from home. $1 million doesn't buy a yacht. $1 million buys silence. The specific kind of silence where you sit in a kitchen chair on a Tuesday night and realize you no longer need anyone's permission. Not your boss's, not the government's, not your past selves. You're 43, $1.5 million. It pays you $57,000 a year. $57,000. What the average American retiree actually spends in a year, replaced permanently, without touching a single share of principal. The principal keeps growing. The dividends keep arriving. You read a headline over coffee that morning. A 2026 retirement planning study says Americans now believe they need $1.46 million to retire comfortably. You read it twice. You've already passed that number. You sit at the kitchen window with your coffee. The street outside is full of people driving to jobs, stuck in traffic, running late for things that feel urgent in the moment. You used to be one of them. You think about the version of yourself at 25, the one with $10,000 who clicked reinvest for the first time, the one who got laughed at over a $350 dividend. That dividend grew. That kid grew up. The math did exactly what the math always does, quietly, in the background, year after year. You walk to your desk. You open your laptop. You write one short email. You tell your manager you're done. You hit send. You don't feel anxious. You don't feel scared. You don't feel anything dramatic at all. You feel exactly the way you felt that first Tuesday morning, all those years ago, when $38 landed in your account while you were still asleep. Calm, quiet, certain. The number Americans say they need to retire. You've hit it. And it took exactly one decision, made years ago and never once broken. The decision to be patient. While everyone else was working for money, you spent years quietly teaching your money to work for you. Now you own your mornings. Permanently.